Hey everyone, and welcome to another live challenger commentary from a SkillCapped expert. This guide comes from our website, SkillCapped.com, where we have over 500 Smurf commentaries by the top players and coaches, teaching you exactly how to escape the rank that you're stuck in. There's 14 brand new commentaries added each week, and a site-exclusive feature where our challenger experts will answer any and all questions that you have. All of this and so much more can be unlocked at our website, SkillCapped.com, so click the link in the description below, head to SkillCapped.com, and get the rank you've always wanted.
Hello everyone, and welcome to SkillCapped Smurf Commentaries. My name is Coach Kyber. I'm a Grandmaster Peak coach with over 1,000 students, and in this game we are going to be experimenting with Blitzcrank with Predator. Now we're going to be going with this just to kind of showcase why it's so good, when you should use it, why, and how we're going to implement those theories into our gameplay. So in this game we are actually playing Lucian Blitzcrank into Jin Annie. Now the big thing with this is Annie can actually hold on to a stun permanently because she doesn't really need to farm. The problem is when she does use her stun, she's got a very large window where she can't really do much in terms of responding to us. So because of that, what we are going to do is we're going to look to punish whenever she doesn't have her stun, and we'll just play around that. Now because we don't have to pull, we can go into lane and be slightly more aggressive early. We can potentially look to get in these bushes and hide from them. This middle one especially, just so that we get control of it. Now this middle brush gives us a lot of control in this matchup because they can't really walk up anywhere near as much. Now the fact that they pulled as well, I'm just going to get a nice early pull on Annie, get a little bit of damage. So now as soon as I have my hookup available again, we can actually jump on her and kill her. Now if we have level 2, that's going to be better because we can E flash and then hook, but the wave is very pushed up, so it's going to be a little bit risky. Now the good thing about this is we now have a massive amount of pressure in the lane, so that it's a lot harder for them to actually walk up. I'm still going to go and just look for this. Okay, so unfortunately Lucian didn't fully commit to that, which is a bit of a shame considering that would have been quite good. But again, we're just going to wait till we have our hook, and then we're just going to look to hook them. Okay, so now again she has no, so we're just going to look to go for a very aggressive hook here. Okay, so we did get his flash, which is very good for us. Trading our flash for his is good. Lucian kind of went a bit too crazy here though, and so I'm actually just going to leave. I don't really want to be continuously trying to fight that there because they do have more overall damage, so there's not that much I can do. So right now what I'm going to do is I have my boots. I'm going to look to just see if I can get a gank on mid here. If I can, then that's going to be very good for us. And we can potentially maybe shut this TF down slightly earlier into the game, especially because we have this Predator. So because we have Predator, we can actually gank through the lane. So this is actually what we're going to look to do. So unfortunately the minions did really get in the way there, so we couldn't really do that much. It did use a lot of our mana as well, but the Lucian did actually die. Okay, so the Xerath did get the kill, so nice, so that actually gives us a good assist. Now right here this is kind of rough because the Lucian did die, so now we're in a little bit of a rough position where it's kind of hard for us to really do that much. So we're just going to wait for this to come in. We can clear the cannon off. We're going to put a ward in this brush just because he might be here. So Annie does actually have her stun up right now. So this means that it's a little bit rough for us to actually do that much in the lane, just while she has it. As soon as she uses it, then that's fine for us. We're going to help him trim this wave down as small as possible. And this way we can get a freeze. And now we've got a freeze. What I want to look to do is zone her off as much as I can. So I'm going to walk around here and get pressure. And then as soon as the Annie kind of oversteps, I'm going to look to use okay, so she dies. So see, because we have this freeze here, as soon as the Annie overstepped, we just killed her. And due to the speed that I actually have out of my boots, she can do it. Now this Jhin might actually miss position, so as soon as he walks to get one of these minions, I'm actually just going to look to hook. Okay, so unfortunately I didn't manage to land that. The Kayn is near though, so we do need to back off. Again, well, I'm just going to wait until I get my hook back up, and then maybe we can look to get another hook. Okay, the problem is here, we can't really engage because we don't know where Kayn is. There has to be a reason why this Jhin... Yeah, there we go. There's the Kayn. So unfortunately, we did kind of fall into the trap of still going there. And there was a reason why the Lucian was staying like that, so we should have actually noticed that and looked to play around it. But this is okay. This game, we're actually going to go with Mercs, purely because they have so much CC, it's unreal. So Swifties or Mobies would overall be better, but they just have too much CC. They have obviously the TF gold card, the Annie stun, the Jhin W. If I get caught by one of those pieces of CC, then I'm going to get caught by all of them. So we really have to be careful. So right now, we're going to actually look to just go. I do have... Okay. So I'm actually just going to use my W to get out here. Unfortunately, Lucian couldn't kill them there, which is a shame. Because we did actually manage to get a hook on the Jhin. So I'm going to look to potentially just come mid lane now. Oh, there is actually a control ward here. So I'm going to pretend I'm walking this way and then I'll walk back up. So now we can potentially, we'll sweep this area just to see if there's anything. Okay, so we got TS Flash. So one thing there is we used that sweeper to see where he was, and then we evaluated where he was going to run through, right? He was always going to run through this little gap. So because of that, we can look to abuse that as much as possible. Now he did get that, which is really, really good for us. And this game, we are going to be building Shurelyas. Now we're going to prioritize going this and some potions, just so that we can have a little bit more survivability in this laning phase. And yeah, so early in this game, even though the Lucian is behind, we filled our purpose so far. The Jhin is pretty strong right now, but we do have quite a lot of damage. We have very aggressive runes in Predator and in Cheap Shot, so it means that we can potentially get on top of them and do a lot, especially when Lucian gets his level 6. So the Lucian unfortunately didn't realize how much damage I do, but in that situation we have to just go for those kills, just because it's a very, very easy kill to get, and it's very beneficial. So we want to actually just push this wave out as quick as we can. So Kayn is here, so unfortunately we can't really fight him. So I'm gonna try and push this wave in on my own, just because the Lucian can't. So I'm gonna go and claim the XP instead, which is fine. And now I'm gonna get another reset off. I've got quite a lot of gold on me, and so if I can get a good reset, I can, you know, I can get my Bandle Glass, which is going to give me a lot of mana back. After my Shurelyas, I'm probably going to look towards going something like a Dead Man's Plate. It's going to give me even more movement speed, and considering I have celerity in my rune page as well, and this is really, really good for me. So now this wave is pushing back in, so I do need to come and help down here. It would have been nice for me to go into mid lane, but right here I can't leave the Lucian alone. And they kind of understand that I'm pretty strong. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and get this on the Jhin again, or at least scare him away. Okay, so we at least managed to scare him off the wave, which is pretty good for us, because now it allows Lucian to hold this wave back. So right now, this wave is in a really good location again. So if they show, we're again just going to look to get a nice hook off and pull them in. That would be very beneficial for us. So unfortunately, that was a missed timer that I could have. I'm just going to go for a random hook there. Okay, so we get a double there, which is nice. The Warwick came, which was good. Now, the Jhin did dodge my hook, but there was no way that, because I didn't have my boots, there was no way that I could actually get in range to actually get the Jhin. So I had to go for kind of just a blind hook, and it didn't really serve much purpose, but we still got the Annie anyway because of the way she was positioned. So I'm going to get this, so I zombie ward it. That's really, really important. That's going to help with just getting overall vision. Okay, so we don't have information of where TF actually ulted to. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look to walk up and just get my control ward inside this jungle here. And then gank mid lane, if I can. So, okay, so there's no wards in this area, so if he shows right now, I can just instantly go. Okay, so see, we could just sit there and wait for him to show. As soon as he shows, we can kill. Now, the Xerath and the Warwick are now very, very strong, to the point that it doesn't really matter that this Lucian is a little bit weaker. So we're just going to play around that as much as we can, and then go from there. Now we're going to go straight back into bot lane. Now Lucian is struggling. He should have just given this tower instead of continuously fighting. But like I said, the Lucian is going to get outscaled anyway. It's better that I use my resources on the map to get this, keep this Xerath and the Warwick snowballing. So now I'm going to let this tower just drop. And then we're just going to farm anything we can. Warwick's getting a kill top. Xerath's getting a kill mid. Nearly anyway. Oh, we did get a kill. So now the Xerath is very, very strong. And it's all come from the way that we've just repeatedly ganked mid over and over. So now I can get this, and then I'll get one more. And this finishes my quest, and so I get a few more wards now. It is a little bit later to actually finish this quest, but I have been focusing on getting other lanes as ahead as possible, especially considering I have such a roam heavy build. So this TF still doesn't have a ward, so this Xerath can push him in. So we're gonna just hook over the wall here. Okay. Okay, so we actually missed that, unfortunately. So we're just going to put a ward down here, just so that we grant a bit more vision for the Lucian. And we're going to actually try and get this kill. Okay, so we do miss the hook. But we can just stay out of range of this gold card. Okay. So Jhin did just kind of kill himself for that. But I mean, we still got quite a lot of it, so it didn't really matter. So, like I said, looking at the scoreboard, this Warwick is very, very strong, and so is the Xerath. So we're just going to play around them as much as possible. Now, we do have Shurelyas now as well, which means we can get some really, really good picks. Now, this is really, really important because we've already got a massive amount of picks with this Predator. Now, we're going to also be able to use our Shurelyas to get them too, so we're going to be very, very fast. We can get to fights very easily. And if anybody ever walks up, we're going to be able to just completely run them down, get them, grab them, and just completely carry the game. We've already done quite a heavy amount of carrying. We have got a few kills. That means we can actually itemize into something like a Deadman's. And this is really, really good, even though it did lose a little bit of HP recently. And purely because it's going to give us even more speed. It's going to give us a nice amount of armor against this Jhin and the Kayn. And overall, it's still got a fairly decent amount of HP too. So we're going to stay out of vision. And then again, as soon as we see Jhin, or TF actually, we're going to go. Okay. So, see how we popped everything to get in range, just so that there was nothing he could do. Now, as a mobile mid lane, this is a very, very effective build. So, if in your games, you actually see that the enemy mid laner is very, very immobile, then you can actually look to go this build as well, and you know it can be really, really effective. Now again, we do have quite a lot of wards in this jungle. I am going to go and refresh this one just because it's going to drop sometime soon, so I'm actually going to put it here, and then what I'm also going to do is get one slightly deeper here. Now Kayn is actually on this camp, so we can just look to mess with him a little bit, just a tad. So as long as we dodge everything, we're fine. Okay, unfortunately we did try and go for the Jhin, just because he's very immobile. He did skip it, he did dodge it, should I say. So, the Warwick is very big, we're just going to focus on getting out. Oh, we did miss our hook, unfortunately. Warwick is very aggressively committing. Fortunately, we did make the mistake of missing our hook. If we had have hit it, then that could have potentially been different. But we did want to prioritize just getting inside the fight and trying to protect our team as much as possible. Now we go armor here and a control ward. Okay. So this TF is very, very weak. This Lee Sin can turn this. Okay, so Lee Sin played that very well. So our entire top side now is very strong, and TF has been completely shut out of the map through our early rotations. So this is really, really effective. Now again, we are just looking to kind of punish Kayn as much as we can as well. So we can kill Asani too. We're going to use everything to get in range. Okay, and now we're going to go straight into the dragon. Now mercs do also slightly reduce the amount we're slowed from our self-slow, which is really good. It's better to get... Oh, so we can actually just catch this guy here. Okay. So maybe the hook wasn't the best there, but you know, he still died. We may as well use our hook while he CC'd, just so that we actually get our damage off. If we had ultimate, it would have been different, but... So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to look to now replace our wards. So our wards have been more so situated in this bottom half of the map so far. So now what we're actually going to do, we're going to get this plant. So Annie dies there. She's very, very behind as well. Purely because as Annie, you want to get a lot of aggression in the laning phase. And she didn't really get the chance to do that because a lot of the times we were just running them down. And they didn't really have much space. So now we're actually going to move our wards because Kayn's bot side's actually unavailable. So we're going to move our wards into this top side of the jungle. And we're just going to focus on getting this area warded up instead, as that's now going to be more beneficial for us. So if any of them walk here now, we can potentially just shut them down. Kayn will come. but Warwick doesn't want to keep going aggressive here, so I need to back out. Because I'm a support, it means that if my team don't want to do something, I have to follow suit, and I have to also not do that. So right here, we are going to get in. Unfortunately, the Xerath didn't have the mana to follow up there, and I did miss my hook. But it is what it is. Okay. So we do have to be prepared for if this Annie flashes, just because we don't know if she has it. Okay, so there we're just chaining our CC as much as possible. Now we have slightly failed to really go for our support item this game. But since Lucian did kind of fall behind, our main goal was to just get other lanes ahead. So this means that we've kind of failed to get it very fast, which is a bit of a shame. Also Lucian farming these minions there when I could have got them, but it's okay. So things like that will happen a lot. I think honestly when you're taking such an aggressive build path like this and aggressive runes, I think it's more beneficial that you just prioritize getting on the map and doing as much as you can in the early game. Now the reason behind this is because early into the game, that's when champions like Blitz are going to have the most amount of pressure, especially when you're going Predator and Shurelya, because this amount of pressure that you can get comes from your items, and if you're not actually utilizing that pressure, then that's not too great. So right here we're gonna just get in and we can kill. So the amount of distance that we cover there, as you saw with those items, is very, very large, and now this actually allows us to get this mid tier 1 tower. Okay, so now we actually want to go up top and help this Lee Sin. We will refresh our wards as we go through. This is really, really important. Because if you're not doing this, then that's kind of rough. Okay, so this Jhin is dead. That was always really going to happen. Thought maybe we could get there in time, but we couldn't. Now we've got this top side completely warded, so Xerath knows that he's safe around this top side of the map. And now we're actually going to continue to look for some of these picks. Now this camp is available, so what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here and wait to see if Kane or anybody else comes for it. Now if they do, we will just insta-kill them. Oh, but Xerath actually snagged that camp, so as soon as Annie shows in this brush, we can potentially look to all-mode. So we're just sitting around, we're just waiting for these opportunities to arise, and then as soon as they do, we just utilize them and punish. So now we're going to go back into this lane and we're going to use some more of our stacks in order to get our quest. Actually, never mind. So right here we do have a substantial amount of gold. We still need 200 more gold though. Okay, so we're going to stay in here because we do want to keep helping the Warwick to fight. Okay, now we can maybe get a hook. Okay, Lee Sin kicked her unfortunately, so we couldn't. So this is okay though. Lee Sin did get another kill off that. And the Warwick's actually chasing through. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reset so that we can get wards and also Dead Man's Plate. Now next item, because I'm level 12 now, I am actually going to look to get this ward stone. Because this is actually going to allow me to get even more haste, even more cooldown reduction for my abilities, and that's going to allow me to really get more pressure on the map, which is going to be a big important thing for me. It's also going to allow me to put down extra wards. Now this is really important because you actually get to place an extra control ward and a normal ward, which is really, really good. So we do want to look to try and help this guy as much as we can. Okay. So right now. Unfortunately, we did die trying to help the Xerath. We managed to get 1 kill out of it, but unfortunately we did end up dying, which isn't too great for us. I did manage to get some wards down in their jungle first though, and the Kayn is dead, which now means that my death is worth it there, because even though I did die, I actually allowed this Warwick to take Dragon, since they don't have Smite, which is important now, because this gives us a very, very big win condition now. And in the fact that if we now get this 4th dragon in 5 minutes time, that's actually going to allow us to get soul, which is going to mean we can go even more aggressive in these fights, which is really beneficial. So right here I'm actually going to hold on to this gold because I do want to get to 1100 anyway, and by the time I get level 13 and 1100 I can back reset and get that ward, and again that's just going to allow us to put more wards down. It's going to give us a big amount of haste, and even though there might be other items that are better in these situations, we want to really lock down vision, especially considering our main objectives now are going to be this Baron and this dragon. So now it's later on into the game, we just have to play it out. Unfortunately that was taken. We're gonna go for this Jhin here. Okay, so as soon as we see somebody out of position, we're just using everything to chase them down. That way they get very little space to actually breathe. This Kayn is very large. But we're not allowed to get stacked so far. So we're actually going to look to replace our vision in this side of the jungle now, just to give Lee Sin the ability to split a little bit easier. So we can't really go for this right now, even though maybe if this Annie walks this way, that's okay. So right now our wards are more so focused towards starting the Baron. So now since Kayn is bot, we want to just rush Baron instantly. So we're going to ping it like crazy. We're going to do a nice sweep, and we're just going to rush it. Kayn has just showed in the bottom side of the map. Making these calls as a support is really important, because you know, like, these calls do win games. So Lee Sin is now distracting them with bot as well. We can do this anyway. I need to be closest to this so that I can tank it, because the Baron actually gives a 50% debuff in terms of damage to whoever's actually tanking it. So that means that I should have been tanking that. We could have done that faster if Warwick would have known that, but he didn't. It's okay though. So now we're going to pick this up. We still need to put down 7 wards, so what we're actually going to do, we've already got Baron, so my wards are not really too useful up there. We're going to just do that, and that way we can put the extra wards down that we need. We can get the full item right here, and now we've got an extra space as well, which we could have bought another cloth armor, but it's actually okay. So now I'm probably just going to look to get a Zeke's, just to get a little bit more pressure, but we do have Baron, so we do want to look to use it as much as possible now. I'm going to ward up this bottom side, just because this inhib is down, but it's still beneficial to just have them here. One of the big things to ward in, always try and ward in triangles. Gives you a very large amount of coverage in the area, and it's very, very beneficial. So this Jhin is actually overextending again. So I am going to... Okay, I can't actually catch him there. Okay, so Kayn did use his Q in order to get away from me here. We're just going to look to siege mid lane now. Okay, so he didn't actually have his Q now to do anything there. We're going to look to just see if we can focus this tower. Our main goal is to just keep this cannon alive. And if we can do that, okay, we managed to get a pick on the Jhin. And that is probably game. So what we can do now is, if this TF shows, we can just run him down. Okay, I thought Kayn would continue there, but he didn't. Lucian got a killing spree. We can look to potentially just keep pushing. Or we can just get this. Lee Sin's also pushing top. It's a safe option to get all 3 inhibs. We could have potentially looked for a hook there as well, but... Okay. We did go for a bit of an aggressive flash. It's very difficult to get flashes like that because the minions are actually coming out of the base. We do end the game anyway, though. Okay, so he flashed there, but it just ended up killing the Annie instead. And we get a kill there. So this is kind of the new Predator Blitzcrank with Shurelyas, which is a very strong new addition to the game. This is kind of how to use it and how to prioritize, say, mid lane, for example. So yeah, so this is so this is how to use it. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
And remember, this guide comes from our website SkillCapped.com, where we have over 500 Smurf commentaries by the top players and coaches teaching you exactly how to escape the rank that you're stuck in. Not only that, but we release 14 brand new Smurf commentaries with cutting edge builds and meta champions every single week. And if that wasn't enough, we have a site exclusive feature where you can ask the Challenger expert any question you want, anything you're struggling with or confused about, and are guaranteed a response by them. All of this can be unlocked for as little as $5 a month and is backed by our rank improvement guarantee. That means a full refund if you don't improve. That's not all, you also get the most comprehensive League of Legends training on the internet with over 900 videos and 150 courses teaching you exactly what you need to know to improve. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below, head to SkillCapped.com and join the hundreds of thousands of satisfied SkillCapped members and get that rank you've always wanted.